Right, hi Deck and anybody else who's cared to join us. Right, I'm going to start right from the very beginning. I ain't got any gimmicks or anything like that. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, and from the very beginning. Okay then, in music we've got the first 7 letters of the alphabet, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and then it repeats itself. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, then it repeats itself at higher and lower levels. Okay, now we need something to place musical notes on. So we've got 5 parallel lines there, and we have 5 parallel lines there. Okay, and I've already put some on there. This is called the grand staff or stave, or you can call it staff. Now I've wrote these in here. There's one on a line space, blah blah blah, there, and there. Okay, now these notes here that I've placed on there have no particular letter name whatsoever at all. They're just circles really, until we actually put a decoder on this 5 parallel lines and this 5 parallel lines. Now I'll do that now while you're watching. Okay, here on the second line of the top 5, we start on the second line and we draw all the way round, goes back on itself, round, goes through itself. It's not a very good one, not with these anyway. And in the left, on the 4th line, go all the way round, curl around to there, down to there, and we have a dot either side of that line. Okay, now this one is called a treble clef. Treble clef, or G clef. Okay, the reason why it's called a G clef, it actually starts on the second line, fixes to it, and it makes this note here, there, it makes that one the note G. Okay, the note G, and that note is there, G. Now this one in the bass, this one here is, we'll have to write it down here, this is the bass clef. Or F clef. And that fixes to this line with the 2 dots, and it makes this one note here the note F. Okay, now that note there, here, that one is there. Okay, and we have F and G. So now we've got that note there. Anything that goes up and anything that comes down, okay, anything that goes up, we say the alphabet forward, but anything that's coming down, we say it backwards. So the next note after G, lettered name, is going to be A, because we come back after G, back to the beginning of the alphabet. So that's A. What comes after A is B. What comes after B is C. What comes after C is D. After D is E. After E is F. Okay. Now then, going back to this one, which is the bass left hand, F. What comes after F in the musical alphabet is G. What comes after G is A. Now if we work backwards from F, what comes before F? It's E. E becomes before F. What comes before E is D. What comes before D is C. What comes before C is B. What comes before B is A. What comes before A in the musical alphabet is the last note of the 7, which is G. Okay. So there we have that. But there is one note missing to join the two. I'll just hold that there a minute. I said this here large gap there. Okay. Now that note there, there's the A, that note is there, G. And then work its way up. So that's the G line. That's the space A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay. There's one note that just sits on the top of that line, which would be in a space, and that is B, which is that one there. Okay. Now then, there is a note that would just hang off that line there, which in retrospect would be in a space. That note there is D. Okay. G, B, C. Oh yeah, and I forgot to come backwards here, didn't we? So that one's F, that comes before G, and that one there is E, and that one is D. Okay. Right. So now there's one note missing, really, because if we go from B, which is there, and then the next note after B would be C, obviously, but it ain't there, which is that one. It's that one, which is where the right hand starts there, D. And that's where the left hand comes up to meet there, and that's where the right hand starts. Now, middle C is placed on a ledger line, and middle C is written on a ledger line there, like that, and that's middle C. And it would appear here, there, mid, and that's middle C. Okay, so that's where middle C is, B, middle C, D. Why they have the gap within the music is basically if they was to squash this all the way down and have that extra line from middle C all the way across, it would be very difficult to actually separate the two hands when you're reading the music. So they have the big gap, and when we see that, that is the middle line. You know, you could say it in a dash like that all the way along. It would be all the way along there. Bump. And that middle C. And them two notes would be on it. Middle C there. Okay. Now these are notes. These are the notes that are all in order. So we actually read from there, which is G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, middle C, D in the right hand, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. F is there. So from there to there, that's the extent of the notes that there is. Okay? So they make reading music as easy as possible. These notes above there and any below there would actually appear working down or working up using ledger lines, you know, ledger lines which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could put, say, a note on that one, and you count your way up, and that note there is F, so the space is G, that line would be A, that space would be B, that would be C, that note would be D, that note would be E, the space would be F, so that note there would be G. See that, once again, pen all of me keyboard. So that note there, you got F there, and in actual fact that would be up the top there, you can see that, it would be there. So that's how you read music, using ledger lines up and down. So they can't have a line and a space written down for the whole keyboard. Okay. Now, I know that some of you, like you there, have got not 88 keys like this one. You've also, a lot of you probably got a keyboard like this one. This is a quite ancient one now. It's still a good keyboard. It's a Yamaha PSR 9000 Pro. Okay, I've not got it plugged in at the minute, but if we look at it, as the work them out, we've got C, 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 2 octaves from first note C. I must explain that a minute here. We've got 2 groups of black notes, 2 groups of 3, 2, boom, 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 if you can see all them. And basically, we've got 2 black notes there. Immediately to the left of the first black note of the 2 double group, that is C. And then to the right of it is E. And the middle one is D. So that's C, D, E, C, D, E, C, D, E. And now the remainder ones, where we've got the 3 black ones, that to the left would be F, and to the right of that one there would be B. So these 2 in between, that F, we'd have G following F, and then we'd start the musical alphabet again, which would be A, and then B, and then we'll start again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So we've got these 3 black notes to the right, F, G, A, B, double C, D, E. That's really what that is, really. So anyway, these are the musical notes, and they're all in order at this stage. I'm actually rubbing this out as I work on it on the board. And of course, these would go down as well as you went down, say, a ledger line there, and say another one there, and you put a note there. That would actually be in a space. That note would be in a space. So if we worked his way down from G there, and then went into the space, that would be F. The line would be E. The space would be D. The line would be C. The space would be B. The line would be A. And the note that we're looking for, counting down to, would be G. And that's down there. I don't know if you can see that down there. Really. It's 8 notes below that one. If you can see it? Yeah. Which is down here. 8 notes below. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Now then, music is divided into equal parts, and that is done by using bar lines. Now you can obviously revert back to this at any time now, it's on video, and if you've got any questions you can actually send me an email to my email box address for this site, and I will gladly give anybody any answers to the questions, and the same to you, Deck, as well. Right then, that's basically that. Looking at that, you're reading music, notes in order. They've got no specific note, they're just naming the notes. Okay? Right, on the staff as well, we usually get what we call a time signature. And I'll use the most common one because there's quite a few of them. It would appear something like this. And same in the left hand as well. But I'll come more to them later on. The top figure is number of beats. Okay, so these pens are quite thin here. Number of beats per bar. Okay, and the bottom one tells us the kind of beat. Okay, number of beats per bar, and the bottom one tells us the kind of beat. I'll come back to what that all actually means later. Okay, so right, I'm going to just pause this for a minute.